football game of the week, along with Tracy Wade and Tim Bachman and my good friend Matt Tenner. I'm Eric Thacker, welcoming you as we kick off region play in Region 1 3A. Another one of those traditional games. Daniel invades the home of the Blue Flame. Pickens and Daniel should be an excellent game. Remember, last week it was Daniel pulling off the upset against the Spartanburg Vikings. Joined by Tracy Wade and Tim Bachman, and again, my good friend Matt Tenner. Well, we always like to come over here at Pickens.
Great people here, great hospitality. They always show everybody. Great environment for football, great weather, cool evening. Let's kick it off.
Oh, and they play good football here at Pickens as well. Let's go down to Tim Bachman, who has the keys for a Daniel victory here against the Blue Flame. Tim?
Thanks a lot, Eric. The keys for a Daniel win tonight, very simple. Air Sitterly, hold that ball, and the big uglies. Air Sitterly, come on, guys. Just saying that doesn't sound normal or natural. We know Alan Sitterly likes to run the football. Last week, in a big come-from-behind victory versus the Spartanburg Vikings, reserve quarterback Terrence Reese came in through 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Michael Reed, 1 to Michael Jones. It could be the start of something new. If it happens tonight, who knows? Maybe a new offense. Hold that ball. Last year, the Daniel Lions coughed it up 50-plus times. They lost 30 of those. This year, that stat has improved dramatically, guys. The key for that happening tonight, not happening, I should say, will be on number 32, Daniel running back Gerard Oglesby. This kid's got great talent. He just needs to secure the ball. Finally, here's a phrase coined by my good friend Eric Thacker, the big uglies. Now, mamas and daddies, don't send me your emails. Send them to Eric if you don't like what I'm about to say. Here's some big uglies for you guys. Number 72, Michael Spencer. Number 78, Duval Young. Number 67, Charlie Byers. These are offensive linemen that can push any defensive line up and down the field. If they do that tonight, and if Oglesby goes over 120 yards like he did last week against Spartanburg, I see a Daniel victory tonight. So it could be exciting in the air, on the ground. It's going to be Daniel football at its best, guys. Back upstairs.
Well, thank you very much, Tim. Don't send them to me, the emails. Send them to our good friend, Matt Tenner. Matt, I tell you what, Pickens, 5-0. Daniel coming in with that kind of momentum with a big win against the Spartanburg Vikings. But I tell you what, the Blue Flame impressed us last year. They went, they only lost 1 game in the regular season. I was going to say they were undefeated the last time we were here. But this team has a chance to beat the Daniel Lions here at home. Give us your keys.
Well, they do. Pickens is a strong ball club. Like I said, they're 5-0. A lot of good things going for them. One thing that's going to be important for them, you're going to see tandem quarterbacks for the Blue Flame tonight. You're going to see Drew Twito. You're going to see R.J. Webb, both interchangeable in there. It's going to be important that they stay cohesive, good exchanges in the ball game with the centers and exchanges and whatnot. It's going to be really a big key. Defensive line for Pickens. A little bit smaller than that big, powerful offensive line, strong, potent running game for Daniel. They have to somehow neutralize that big offensive line of Daniel. It's going to be a big key. And then third, they got a young offensive line. They got 1 returning starter of a year ago. They got Dexter Durham, number 65, for Pickens' offensive line, only returning starter they have. This is really their only true test this year. You know, they've had some good ball games before, but this is really the only true test of this offensive line against a good defensive line. Can they create holes, protect the quarterback, and run the football?
Well, thank you very much, Matt Tenner. Sit back and enjoy. The kickoff is next between these 2 storied rival programs. The Burger King High School Game of the Week kickoff right after this here on Charter on TV 10. Well, welcome back, everybody. Pickens Blue Flame and the Daniel Lions. Daniel impressive last week against the Spartanburg Vikings, a game which saw the Vikings taking the lead. Daniel came back and scored late in the 4th quarter to secure victory. Pickens has been rolling every single week. This is the biggest test this year for the Blue Flame. Kicking off for Daniel, they did win the toss. They'll defer to the second half. You're looking at David Harrison, who's a pretty good kicker. And this 45th meeting between these 2 storied programs is underway as he fields it at the 10. And turning the corner a little bit, Brent Dickard, the sophomore 140-pounder. So now the Blue Flame will get ready to work. Andy Twito's team, 5-0 out of Region 1 3A. They defeated the Daniel Lions 24-0 as again we take a look at the return by Brent Dickard there, the sophomore. Won 24-0 last year and has won 2 in a row, trying to make it 3 in a row. So the Pickens offense will go to work, and it will be the son of the coach, Drew Twito, the senior at 5'10", 180, who is going to handle the helmet quarterback. They do have two quarterbacks. You'll see them both tonight. Just on an ISO over the right side, and that is Brent Dickert. And he bangs ahead for a couple of yards, or check that. That is Mark Merck, their leading power rusher, actually leading in that department in terms of numbers, and they like him because he keeps his legs a churning. And he was able to pick up a good gain of 4 yards, Matt Tenner, on first down.
Sure did, and I tell you what, offensive line is going to be key so they can explode that running game. Daniel's coming here, that big win off of Spartanburg like you talked about. They've got the confidence. They've got the momentum. They believe they can be the season killers for Pickens tonight.
Stoppage in play momentarily as you look at Coach Andy Twito. He has been here for a while and has actually coached the Shrine Bowl, helped coach the Shrine Bowl last year for South Carolina. So good coach, Coach Twito. Second down and 6. And you give it on the fullback belly. The football is on the ground, and that is, I believe, that's going to be Daniel football, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
Unless
it is,
they call him down.
Haven't seen indication, but well, they're not exchanging.
Nope, they're calling it third down.
I guess they're calling him down. So I thought he turned it over. You see the replay here. See if the ball hits the ground. Ball's out, Eric. Let's see who recovers it.
That's number 54 there. That's Angel Olvera. And I don't understand that.
I don't understand. Looked like a clear fumble in Daniel football.
Brian Sloan dropped that ball. Possession down. They need to get out to the 32, and that's not going to do it. The defensive line for the Daniel Lions is there. Going back to that fumble, in fact, Daniel was a team that was very storied, as we mentioned, and Tim Bachman will go to share some numbers with us here during this broadcast. But Daniel right now, even in the turnover margin ratio. So they could have been +1 for the year. That one went awry. So now we're looking at Michael Jones, who's going to be returning this punt from David Henderson, and Harrison gets good leg, gets some good air under it, and Daniel's going to let it hit as it takes a big Pickens bounce, and the Blue Flame is going to mark it dead at the 16, where Daniel will work first down and 10. The Daniel offense is averaging 338 yards a game, and they're scoring at a clip of 26 points per game. But they generate the offense via the rush. They have historically been a rushing team, and that's why. The guys up front on the Sam Evans starters, the line, Gravely, Young, Spencer, Byers, and Tonkin, they are very strong, very physical. When they throw it out, the tight end comes into play. Beckley, Harrison is their leading receiver, and Jones.
Eric, this is what they do best. They like to run the football, like Tim talked about the big uglies. They are big. I don't think they're ugly, but they are big.
Let's take a look at the Sam Evans defensive front. Blake, Hendricks, Bridges, and Alexander for the Flame. And again, they're going to have to be big tonight. So are the linebackers Sloan, Whippy, and Nally. And then Matt Merck, Prophet, Wakefield, and Anthony. You're going to see a lot of these names playing both ways for Pickens. So the fourth quarter against a rushing team like Daniel could play a factor. So something to look at later in this ball game. Second down and 5. Opening quarter and the opening possession for Daniel, who forced the Pickens Blue Flame into a 3-and-out.
It is the matchup we were looking for here. Defensive line of Pickens, offensive line versus Daniel. Let's see who can contain who. And like you talked about, stamina coming in that fourth quarter. A lot of Iron Men here for the Pickens Blue Flame.
Keep it straight ahead, right in between the tackles. The fine stop by Brian Sloan for the Blue Flame. Sloan is their leading tackler for Pickens coming into the night. And it'll bring up possession down. Let's call it about third down and probably 2 yards to go. Yep.
Looking for Daniel to maybe try to kick this ball outside, maybe a toss sweep or maybe an option play. Try to get it outside the tackle, see if they can't press the ball up the field that way.
Oglesby. Movement at the line of scrimmage, and either somebody on the line of the Lions or one of the Blue Flame got in the neutral zone.
This could be big. This could be an automatic first down or a much
third and
longer
long.
third and long, depending.
Ball start.
Well, Matt Tenner, they could have ran the ball on 3rd down and 2, and now you wonder if Terrence Reese, the Daniel quarterback's not going to air it out for the first time in the game.
Right, and, Eric talked about, the air attack and how effective it is, but it's not real apparent all the time. They don't throw the ball very much, so that could play, getting pushed in the 3rd and long, that could, pose a problem for him.
Line to make will be the 28-yard line. Let's see if Reese, take a look at him under center with 2 backs. They throw the swing. There's a block, but nope, they're not going to get away. A host of Blue Flames there defensively. Profit and company. Merck was there. And also Sloan. Brian Sloan, as we told you, leading tackler. So that penalty was big, big, big.
Sure was. That was textbook defense on how to stop that swing play. Played it outside in, brought everybody in, had inside-out pursuit, outside contained, and just snuffed the ball at the point of the catch, and that was the perfect way to play that.
David Harrison ready to put foot to leather. And R.J. Webb back deep for the play. Good pass, end over end kick. Webb's going to elect to let it hit the ground. Will he pick it up? Nope, he'll stay away from it, and Daniel's going to mark it dead. So both teams had a chance to scrimmage, 7:44, no score at the home of the Blue Flame here in Pickens, and we'll take this time out here on the Burger King High School Game of the Week, no score. The Gaffney Indians, who's rolling and are playing Hillcrest tonight, will take on the Burns Rebels, who are down facing the Greenwood Eagles. Big matchup as Region 2-4A kicks off region play on the Burger King High School Game of the Week. Dixon Field will be there. Join us as well on Charter on TV 10. Well, both teams unable to get that first down, Matt Tenner, so Pickens will go back to work now. A little better field position, and in fact, that may play a key in this ball game as well, field position.
Exactly right. Punters, kickers can play huge in this kind of ball game. So field position kind of battle, that type of football game. This game started the way you and I both thought it would. Ground attack was pounded out. Let's see which offensive line can beat which defensive line, and they're going after it, and both defenses are stepping up huge for both ball clubs, and yeah, field position is going to be huge in this ball game.
Talking to our Coach Twito, talking to our crew there about maybe timeouts or something, and maybe a little bit confusion about, sometimes physical teams want to keep on pounding it out there and don't want to give another team a chance to rest, but unfortunately, we should, there's a lot of times, in the kind of remembered it. Let's go down to Tim Bachman. Tim?
Thanks a lot, Eric. We talked about Daniel, the tradition of Daniel Lions football. In the 90s, the winningest program in the state of South Carolina, 119-19. That's just unbelievable. They won 4 state titles. They didn't have a great first drive, but this team has tradition like no other in the 3As.
No doubt about that, Tim. Pickens getting ready to go back to work now on the straight ahead. ISO stood up at the line of scrimmage. Mark Merck nowhere to go. 2 rushes, and he's gained probably 1 yard.
Eric, this is nothing more than traditional smash mouth football. We're going to play it between the tackles, and, like we talked about, who's going to push who around, and, just a classic battle here.
Well, eventually you wonder if you're going to see the ball aired out, because if both these defenses are going to be playing like this, then they're going to, forcing 3rd down and long, they're going to have to convert something through the air.
Yeah, they're also going to have to try to loosen these tight defenses up.
Toss sweep, and this is Mark Merck trying to turn the corner. He eludes one tackler and then is flipped on his backside. Coming in was Doug Moore defensively for Daniel, but Merck positive gain and brings up a 3rd down, possession down, and let's call it about 3.
Yeah, maybe the biggest down of the ball game so far, yardage-wise. So, yeah, somebody's going to start opening the ball up a little bit. Swing passes, get some screens out there, try to open things up, spread the ball out a little bit, and move the ball.
3rd down and 3. The line to make will be the Pickens 47. The offensive line averages about 235 for Pickens. Again, they like to establish that run first. That has always been the trademark for the Flame. Fake the belly give, and second effort. He's not going to get it. He's going to be about a half a yard short, maybe even a full yard. And that play didn't have a chance to develop because there was a little bit of confusion in there in terms of faking the belly give, Matt Tenner.
Yeah, I tell you, you got to give a lot of credit to number 60 for Daniel Ford Blackburn. Did a great job coming off the line of scrimmage, pushed the offensive lineman backwards so the ball carrier had nowhere to start when he got the football. So great defensive line surge there by Blackburn.
Well, the chain gang from the far side going to come out and take a look at this football and see if it's close. I'm saying it's a half a yard short.
Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely short.
And yep, half a yard. Well, the way these two teams play, this game, as we have a good crowd on hand, always fine people here at Pickens, always love coming here. And boy, they love their flame, don't they? And how about the Daniel crowd on the far side? Came out as well. This is another one of those rivalries, and you see all those rivalries here on the Burger King Game of the Week.
Big play here, fourth half a yard.
And they're going to punt it. So they're calling on Bo Profit. And you got to watch out for a fake here. Now, Bo will put foot to leather, end over and kick. And Jones is going to let it hit. And then Doug Moore thought about flirting with it and decided to leave it alone. Probably a good decision on his part. And they're going to be scrimmaging at the 20. Daniel at 5:27 left in the first quarter. Give you some more numbers to share. As we told you, Daniel begins with the run, averaging 338 per game, 225 yards on the ground, 114 yards through the air. They have been averaging 26.5 points per game. And coming off that huge win against the Spartanburg Vikings last week, a team, Matt Tenner, who looked good in the early part of the season against Union. And we kind of wonder what's going on with Doc Davis's Vikings, because they're in a big one against Malta tonight, too. And hopefully the Vikings can turn things around. Well, Daniel's going to run the option. And this is R.J. Webb. Or check that, it's Terrence Reese. And Reese will dive ahead for a couple of yards, and it'll bring up second down.
Did a great job of finding the hole, being a little bit patient, picking and choosing, and then shooting through there. Tell you, when they run the option, and Pickens knows this, there's only one way to stop this. You got to assign a man to the quarterback every time he carries the football. Bring somebody up a corner or scrape a linebacker over to pick up that running back. And have somebody closing that quarterback every single down.
There's a big hole, big positive gain. This was the biggest production on the first two downs for Daniel, and that'll get him a first down.
And there it is, the first time in the ball game we've moved the chain. So
Oglesby coming into tonight, as you take a look at the fullback there, rushed for 375 yards, still looking for his first touchdown this year. But he does move the sticks for Daniel. First down and 10. The split backs for Terrence Reese on the toss with blockers. And picking up 9 yards on that far side, another good positive gain. This time is Patterson, the 5'9", 177-pounder, who brought 307 yards of rushing to tonight's game.
Eric, this is where what Tim called air sitterly come into effect. You got second in the yard. They've got ample room, like you always say, to go deep in their playbook. I look for them to maybe try to lure them in with that run they've done all day and maybe hit one deep now. So look out for that.
Stole my thunder, didn't he?
And
there you go. They go with the keeper, and Reese says, I'm going to stretch out, and I'm going to get the first down. So you're going to see that. You're going to see Terrence Reese. You're going to see Giovanni Patterson, who we saw on the carry before. And, of course, you're going to see Jeroid Oglesby, who is their leading rusher coming into tonight. When Terrence Reese looks to throw, he's not too shabby, pretty productive. He's hitting 50% of his passes at 209 yards, 4 TDs, and only 2 interceptions. And the clock now running again at 3:33, first quarter, and this is the biggest drive of the ball game. And they started at their 20, and it's first down and 10. Little misdirection with Patterson. And Patterson in traffic will dive ahead for about 4, and that's it.
Tell you what impresses me, Eric, is this offensive line of Daniel. They're big, we know that, but also you can see on these counter plays, these tackles are pulling left and right, doing a great job. Footwork, moving down the line, getting in front of these ball carriers, making big blocks.
Well, how big are they, Matt?
Oh, gosh, you go 287, 234, 254, 263, 190. These guys are big, 260, 270 average across the line. And it looks like we're going to have a false start against Pickens. I think the left defensive end may have gone a little bit too soon, Eric.
Oh, so he got in the neutral zone.
I think so. I think that's what they're going to call. Unless
Well,
he lured a
Michael
lineman
Jones.
off from Daniel.
Michael Jones from Daniel saying, yep, they were in the neutral zone, so that will give them that second down and short.
I tell you, if that is the call.
Encroach right here. Will not be a first, not a first.
Just short of a first, but what's smart, a heads-up play on that is a center, Eric, for Daniel. He's taught to every time, and thank you very much, Pickens folks. Always great to be here, and they're always great to us. But the center for Daniel's always taught, and any center's taught this, anytime you see an encroachment, snap that football automatically. Catch him in that neutral zone, he will pick up an easy 5 yards, and they just did so there.
Well, to get my thunder back, you can go deep in your playbook with this. Second down and
sorry,
short. No, that's okay, and it's going to be the keeper. Look out. Terrence Reese is on the move, and he's going to be brought down inside of the 10. Chaz Anthony there to save a touchdown for the Blue Flame. And quickly, Daniel knocking on the door via the option.
I tell you, they're moving the football, and again, you got to assign a man to the quarterback every single time when they run the option. They didn't do so, and he's too good of an athlete not to do so, and he breaks one free. I tell you, if Mr. Anthony doesn't haul him down at the goal line or 3-yard line, he's in for an easy 6. So,
well, Reese has come in with 177 yards rushing, 3 TDs, averaging 4 yards a carry, and they're knocking on the door. Here's the toss. Whoa, good defense there by the Blue Flame. Coming in there and hitting him for a loss, if I'm not mistaken. That was that Ellenberg or was that Wimpy there?
It was Wimpy that made the tackle, but Tyler Ellenberg did a fine job of pursuit up the field to alter his run, slow him down, and let Wimpy come in and finish it off and make a fine tackle.
Second down and goal, a loss. Daniel knocking on the door. 1 minute and 35 seconds, quarter number 1. The 45th meeting between these two schools. Daniel with the series lead, 23-20-1. And he'll keep it. And he's wrapped up again. So Corey Alexander, who we don't have in our program, he was at number 70. Corey Alexander, now jersey number 99. So we apologize for that.
Okay, that was a fine tackle, I tell you what. So senior coming up big on making a big stop here, doing everything they can to keep him out of the end zone.
Third down and goal. They need a touchdown. No first downs. As Reese looks to roll, he's going to cut it up inside, and he's down to the 2. As one of the Blue Flame wrapped him up around the legs and dropped him down. Brian Sloan, the leading tackler for Pickens, able to make it 4th down and 2.
Eric gets big. Looks like they're going to go for it. Well, I take that back. Now looks like the kicker's going to come on. And he is. They're going to go for the field goal. Smart move. Possession type of field position type of football game, power game. Let's get 3 points.
This is going to be a 20-yard attempt. David Harrison, the right-footed soccer-style kicker, has hit 3 of 4 field goals this year, hitting 3 out of 4, and this is a 19-yarder. And they're not going to get the kickoff because the first quarter has closed here at the home of the Blue Flame. So after 1-0-0, when we come back to the Burger King High School game of the week in this traditional, we'll have a field goal attempt for Daniel at the end of 1. No score. Well, you missed the field goal. Daniel did make it. And again, David Harrison ready to give this football a wallop, and Pickens does have a return. This is Mark Merck, and Mark Merck's got a crack as he brings it across the 25, but puts the football down on the ground. Or check that is actually number 30, Brent Dickard, who was actually the guy that fielded the first kickoff to start the game, the sophomore at 140 pounds. So the fumble went out of bounds, no damage done, and Pickens trailing 3-0. That field goal of 19 yards will now put Harrison for 4 for 5 in that department. And in games like this, 3 points is big.
3 points, that could be a game breaker right there.
Chad Hendricks, one of the defensive linemen for Daniel, was on this near side, and he gets up okay. So now Coach Twido talking to his son Drew, the signal caller for Pickens, as you see son and pop there.
One thing about Pickens is don't get in a hurry now. They're down by 3, plenty of time to go. There are no kind of rush. Stick to what you're doing, stick to their offensive game plan, and try to establish this line of scrimmage.
R.J. Webb and Bo Profit are flanked out to the top of your screen. Twido will turn, hand off. That is Mark Merck, tripped up at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Or we'll give him a yard on the play, if that. Actually, 2.
Yeah, credit 2 yards, but credit this defense of Daniel. They've stepped up so far in this first half. They've held Pickens to 0 first down so far, and that can be huge.
Pickens has not aired the ball out yet in this ball game. Previous possession had some opportunity, and then the penalty took them out of that. Pro set I. 5-step drop, throw the little hitch pass, incomplete, intercepted. That is Michael Reed, and Michael Reed will get the deflected pass, and now Daniel's knocking on the door again. R.J. Webb had it, took his eyes off of it, and then guess what? Daniel's up +1 on the turnover margin for the year.
Tell you, Eric, DB practices every day the old tip drill, and the receiver's taught if you can't catch it, knock it down. You never bat it up in the air. Just goes right, around the DB's hands. He's able to haul it in and take it down the field.
Well, R.J. Webb should have definitely had that one in. So now Daniel knocking at the door, first down and 10 inside of the red zone, scrimmaging at the 15. And he puts the football on the ground, and I believe Pickens got it back, did they? Nope. I think the ball carrier was able to pounce on it. Sometimes the football just bounces in the way of one team, and he dropped it and then was able to fall on it, because for a moment there I thought that Pickens had it.
Yeah, it looks like a bad exchange. That running back comes through. He's supposed to put, he's getting it from his left side, put that left elbow all the way up and that right hand down to cradle that football, and just to make a good pocket to get that football into there.
I think it was Tyler Ellenberg, if I'm not mistaken, who was on the bottom of that.
I thought he had it, yeah. Almost had it.
So second down and 10. Reese will roll as he looks to throw, and he's open as he curls in, completed to his wide receiver, David Harrison. Harrison, who, as you've seen, hit that field goal, and he is also the punter and the wide receiver as well. So the guy that gets it all done here and makes the catch on the curl.
He's a multi-purpose player. He's credited with the points on the board. Now he's helping move the ball down the field. And
they're down and short. Pickens was in the neutral zone, and they'll snap. Reese trying to go over the defensive line. Ball's on the ground. Pickens saying that they have the football, and if they do, that's going to be huge. And the fans are up trying to show their support, but the officials saying,
it's Pickens' ball. Here's the replay here. You can see the ball clearly out. Looks like T.J. Bridges right there in the middle of the line just falls on the football. Great job, because this drive could have been 6 more points for Daniel.
Big change of events inside of the 10. As you mentioned, Matt Tenner, Bridges able to come up with that football, and they turn Daniel away, who's on top 3-0. Now, Daniel gotta get that out of your mind defensively, because now Pickens, when you turn somebody away like that, it's easy to get your head down. And we have momentary stoppage of play as they exchange the football. Let's go down to Tracy Wade. Tracy?
Yeah, guys, I wanted to let you know about this. This is really interesting. We've got the Pickens Sentinel. They have a special pull-out section that's only about high school football that comes out in their Wednesday paper. This is something they just started this year. Talking to the publisher, Rocky Nimmons, he just started this, and one of the neat things he was telling me, what they're doing, the reason they're doing this, they want to send this paper out to some area colleges to try to help get these local players some more recognition and hopefully get them able to play in the next level. and how important it is to them. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you very much, and it definitely is. And I tell you, it's also important to Angel Olvera, who was able to wrap up that.
Him and a host of about 8 other white jerseys.
I was going to say that. There's a
lot of
bunch
support
of them there. Second down and 10. Pickens turning Daniel away on the fumble. And now Twido at this goal line. Now he steps up, airs it out, dangerous pass, and it was almost picked off again. And again, believe it or not, folks, that was Michael Reed who almost took that one.
Almost took his second one. I tell you, one thing that hurts Pickens is, and we'll take a look at the pass play again. You can see Reed breaks on this football, does a fine job. Good coverage, had good pursuit on the quarterback. Breaks right in front of the football. But when you don't throw the football a lot, you're not as comfortable with it. Daniel throws a little bit more. They're a little bit more successful doing it.
Well, Matt, your back's against the wall. It's third down and 10. You're
now
probably
you
against this. But do you when you're
exactly
deep like this?
And your confidence is kind of shot.
Well, the eye back is Mark Merck, and he's looking for a big carry. He needs one right now. They go with the belly with the fullback. Nothing doing as he's stymied at the line of scrimmage. And the first Daniel Lion to meet him, if I'm not mistaken, that was Olvera again, number 54.
Tell you, that turnover by Daniel did nothing to shake their momentum at all. They're fired up. They're playing hard. They got a lot of confidence stemming off of that last week's victory against Spartanburg. And Coach Twido's pretty upset and got every right to be right now.
Well, he's going to have to get a good kick and have put some good defense on the field. Here's Prophet, who's hitting this at his goal line. Nice high spiraling kick. And dangerous is Jones, who fields it in traffic at the 37, but excellent field position in which to work for Daniel. They're on top on the Burger King High School game of the week, 3-0. They have 7:54 left here before intermission. Good crowd on hand. And the Lions.
Great field position again.
Brought a couple of thousand fans himself. I would say we've got about 7,000.
Good call. Daniel has a lot of fans around this fence line, so they could easily max out those fans over there.
Take a look at the band. We remind you to join us for the Hames Music halftime festivities here at the home of the Blue Flame, which has not ignited on the scoreboard yet. Trailing 3-0. Now Daniel back on the attack. Terrence Reese, who fumbled that last possession away, will carry it this time over right guard on the option, and he dives ahead for 4 yards.
Eric, I keep saying this, and I keep saying it, and I keep saying it. When you run the option, you must assign a man to the quarterback each and every down. If
and
you don't,
who is that?
He's going to beat you. Normally, it's your defensive end closing down, outside linebacker, however
you
want to call him.
Right?
Well, you don't want him to have a choice. You don't want to have a read out there. You want him to close down and hit the quarterback each and every down, have that linebacker scrape out to take that running back, or the cornerback come up outside in and take the running back.
So it's not whether if he goes inside or outside on you then, right?
Well, a lot of teams do play. I'll explain that in a second, Eric. A lot of teams do.
Another fumble, as we told you. Daniel came in even, and if they lost this one, they're going to be down one for the year, and they're going to, Pickens has it. They're going to be down one for the year, and they've turned it over twice in this ball game. Let's take a look. When you run the option a lot of times, that can happen if you're not disciplined.
And if you hit the running back, hit the quarterback, more often than not, you're going to create a lot more turnovers.
Now, what we were saying about the defensive end.
Well, a lot of teams do what you said, where they have the defensive end or outside linebacker read. If the quarterback takes it, they come in and take him. If he pitches it, they turn and go with the pitch man. Problem with that is your defensive end or outside linebacker is hardly ever as fast as the quarterback or the running back. So if you get playing a guessing game, you're always stuck in the middle, and you can't get either way.
Twido goes back to throw. He's got the fly, and he just leads the outstretched hands of the other quarterback and receiver, R.J. Webb. And I like the call.
Oh, I do too. They've got to try
to
do something, try to spark this offense, get them down the field. They've run the football, not real successfully so far, but they're almost luring Daniel in. You know, run the football, run the football, run the football. Hey, let's try to hit him deep. I do like the call.
Plus, that gives him a chance to come right back with it and try to gain that confidence. It was a good pass right there. As now Webb at the top of your screen, and he's joined by Bo Prophet. So you have twins. The fullback is Dickard, and he's going to lead the way on the toss for Mark Merck. And Merck's got a crack and Merck runs over a would-be tackler as he hammers ahead for a Blue Flame first down. We said he was the power back, and he shows you why right there as he finished off his run.
Very much, and watch this. Great job by the line. Great downfield blocking. You see a hook block here. Great block here on number 11. I couldn't see who made the block, and there's the power. And that's what sprung to the first down, Eric. Without that power to go forward, he would come up just shy of that first down. That power got him that first down. Great extra effort there.
I tell you, Doug Moore from Daniel saying, what is the license number of that truck, please? So now, a first down. And good field position now, scrimmaging at their own 45. Twin receivers to the bottom. This is another ISO, and it's another crack for Mark Merck. And Merck down, rips off 9 yards. So 2 carries, 19 yards for number 20, who's now beginning to assert himself here in the second quarter for the Flames.
Tell you, Eric, what I like about Merck as we watch him run here, he's one of those kind of backs that when you hit him, he's going forward. He's very hard to, once you hit him, make him go backward. You don't have too many forward progress calls on him because he's always still going forward once you hit the guy. And I don't know about that one. I'm not.
Still a few weeks away.
Yeah, I'll leave that comment alone.
Second down and short. Twin eye formation. Run blitz looks to be coming. Here they come. They fake the give. Nope, they do give it on the give, and it may be a first down. They picked me out up here.
That was Brandon Wimpy.
The sophomore. At
And I
180 pounds.
think he's got the first down, Eric. We're going to move the chains, and that's been a rare feat so far in the first half for Pickens. So, a couple plays here, a couple first downs. So they've got a little momentum, and they got plenty of time in the half to do it.
Well, Pickens coming into tonight undefeated in Region 1-3A. Well, they're kicking off Region 1-3A battle tonight as they open up region play, and we're going to give you the outcomes of those previous 5 games for Pickens after this play on first down and 10. 5 minutes remaining before halftime. The Flame trailing, but on the move. They toss it near side again. There's a hole, and he picks up about 5 or 6 yards. So now all of a sudden, the offensive line of Pickens starting to push back the Lions of Daniel.
Yep. Also want to credit Brandon Wimpy again on that one. He was the lead blocker. Great job of springing him. You can watch him here. He's going to come out. He's going to make this block right there on number 55 to spring him to the outside and let him dart through that hole.
They opened up the season against their crosstown rival easily and beat them by 7, 21-14. Then defeated Liberty also in county play, 39-7. Then West Oak 21-3. Pounded Travelers Rest 41-14. And last week beat Barnwell 32-6. That's how they enter tonight. And the fullback. Or no, check that. It's still going to be Mark Merck. They're doing an excellent job in terms of the backfield and handing it off. So Quido confusing this broadcast crew here, although Matt Tenner will not accept that. He says he hasn't
I
yet.
wasn't faked out. Great misdirection, though. But, yeah, you got to be quick to keep up with these guys. Great job by the line, pulling, moving down the line. Great misdirection, great fakes with the fullback, giving the tailback going the other way. That's good preparation. You can tell they've worked well together. They practice hard doing this.
Quido brings in the play from Papa Coach. 3-0, clock running. 3.5 minutes left before intermission. So we bring you the Hames Music halftime festivities on the ISO. And he ran out of that tackle. Donovan Burt, the 6'3", 202-pounder who leads the team with tackles for loss with 5. Wrapped him around the shoelaces, but again, the power of Mark Merck, the difference there.
That's Merck again going forward after the contact. He rarely will ever see this guy go backwards after he gets hit. And I tell you, this is huge, Eric. I believe they're going to take a timeout because we got a 4th and about a yard and a half, and this is a huge play for Pickens right now. They've got to try to establish something.
All righty, with the timeout, we'll take it with them. Pickens on the move. 4th down and short when we return on the Burger King High School Game of the Week. Daniel on top by 3.
Johnson's helps students like you show off school pride and remember life's greatest moments. For over 100 and capture memorable moments and achievements. Champions from high school to the pros experience a wide array of challenges that only Johnston's can fit. From yearbooks to graduation, Johnston's is there proclaiming your achievement in a time-honored way, supporting the schools and students of the upstate by constantly delivering exceptional performance and quality. That's Johnston's.
We're in LA's Grand Central Market shopping for great ingredients. Today's recipe starts with the Southwest-style sauce made from tomatoes, onions, poblano peppers. We also want some chicken, the kind you just can't resist when it's fried or grilled. Finally, we need some warm, fresh-baked baguettes to put everything on. What do you know? This isn't going to take as long as I thought.
Introducing the new Santa Fe Chicken Baguette from Burger King. Flavor from fire grilling, not from fat. Come on over. The fire's ready.
Well, on the toss sweep, the first down is good. It's going to be close. I think he's got it on the toss as they found Mark Merck to move the sticks for the Blue Flame. Good call and a good toss. Got his blockers out there and keeps the drive alive for the Flame.
Derek, that was huge for Pickens. They got to do something, try to put some points on the board. You know, that was pretty much a no-brainer. They had to go for it on fourth down. You know, key play. We'll see how it plays out now.
2:40 and an impressive drive by Pickens. All this resulting from the Daniel fumble. Merck. This time Daniel able to throw the blockers away and wrapping him up in the backfield coming in is Ellison, number 64, for Daniel for a loss of a yard.
I tell you, great surge by Daniel defensive line. You know, not only, it was also Josh Hale came in with a lot of pursuit. You know, and then, of course, you know, number 64 come in with that big tackle. So
I tell you what, this has been the fastest game we've had this year, Matt. We're already 2 minutes inside of the second quarter left.
Yeah. That happens when you throw the ball about 4 times so far in the ball game. So
second down and 11. Twido with a 7-step drop. Airs it out, open in the middle of the field, caught. And it's R.J. Webb. And Webb amends where he dropped the football in the first quarter and now has a first down, but hold everything. This may be coming back. We may have a hold.
It's thrown where a hold normally occurs, and Pickens is upset.
Well, I tell you what, Dexter Durham just got called out by.
And you don't hear that too often. So you only hear that in the professional ranks. They call the player out for it. So poor Dexter, he's a lone returning starter for this Pickens offensive line, and you know he's got the experience. And tough break for Dexter.
You made that a good point that he is the only returning starter on the offensive line, and you come in at 5-0 with basically a whole new line except for one starter. Not too shabby, because it always begins with the guys up front. Well, this penalty is big because you know it's not only pushing you back, but now you only have 1 minute and 38 in which to work. It's from the spot, so now you're looking at second down and 23 or 22 yards to go. The line to make will be the Lions 24. So Twido with a pair of receivers at the bottom of your screen. The new fullback is Wimpy. He pump fakes and he goes over to this side, open in the flat, but taking a sack. Coming in for Daniel is Josh Huddick, the 206-pound junior, and Twido had him open for a moment, didn't see him, and elected just to go ahead and take the sack.
God, we'll watch it again here, Eric, and yeah, he had 2 guys open also. He had number 98 downfield open, but when you got somebody in your face like that, it's hard to pick out these open guys. Right down here with R.J. Webb, he's a decoy. He doesn't want to throw them to him in the first place because, you know, third and a mile, that's not going to help you anyway. He want to try to get a DB to bite up on that and then go deep with that pump action, but when you get that pressure, he can't do the pump action and get going. So
now it's third down and about 40 to go. The line to make is the 24. And remember, Pickens, after that completed pass, before it was brought back on the penalty, and now another penalty throw, they were knocking at the Daniel door and had time. They were inside the red zone with a first down. And now they're going back another 5 yards.
And they have the momentum, and they clearly do not now. Clearly in Daniel's favor. As Larry Munson in Athens Town would say, 3rd and 10 miles to go.
Yep. I like that thing about you admitting that defensive ends and outside linebackers aren't as fast as quarterbacks and running backs.
I'm an honest guy.
You're an honest guy. Well, aren't you the guy that chased down Bicycle Hammer from BYU?
Long time ago.
But you chased him down, didn't you?
Chased him down a long time ago. A lot of adrenaline must have been flowing. I don't know how I got my legs to move on that one, but long time ago. For the most part, much slower. Not much slower, much slower.
Well, I tell you what, Pickens was really on the move and trailing 3-0 in this heated affair. And then the penalty. We had a bunch of them last week with Boiling Springs and D.L. Hanna that cost the Dogs a couple of impressive drives in the first half, which could have kept them in the ball game. And now penalties come back and hurt Pickens. And again, this was after they turned Daniel away on another fumble. Daniel put the ball on the turf twice tonight. Pickens got him both times, and now all of a sudden the penalties and then the big sack bringing him back.
Daniel's catching a huge break now, letting these turnovers, sneak up and bite him.
So with 17 and a half seconds left before halftime, Daniel has a couple of timeouts remaining. Do you call timeout and force them to punt one? You never know.
Yeah, they could. And
or
be honest, right now, I don't understand what the stoppage in play is.
Equipment adjustment or something down there?
I'm not sure. I think we're ready to play now, so 3rd and a mile to go.
And again, the line to make is the 23. Expect the draw. I was just going to say the draw. Believe me, I was. So Mark Merck is in the open field, and Mark Merck's going to be, now you got a late flag that's coming.
That's going to be a
personal foul.
Yeah,
and that's going to tack on 15, so hold on everything. And more seconds were put back on the clock, Matt, because they were running that clock, so now 19 seconds remaining. It's still going to be 4th down, but after they mark off the penalty, you're looking maybe at about 10 or maybe even inside of that for the first down.
And here's the call. I think it's going to be a 15-yarder.
Well, that's going to make it 4th down and 8 because they're going to get it about the 31-yard line, Matt, if I'm not mistaken.
That's not a heads-up play. We can see it here. You got to know your presence on the football field and know where you are, and I've been guilty of it in the past. He's out of bounds. He's clearly out of bounds. They had him stopped, but he throws him to the ground, and you'll see it here. He's now out of bounds. He's a good 2.5 yards out of bounds. It's a good call by the officials. Another replay here on this angle, you'll see that he is clearly out of bounds, and you got to have a presence of mind. They have a team backed up. You don't want to give them a cheap shot penalty like this to put them back into this thing.
I agree with the call. Line to make is the 23, and now that is achievable. 19 seconds and 1 down in order to get that first down. 3-step drop going toward the end zone, 1-on-1, and it's a jump ball, and it's almost picked off. How about the defensive play in the first half for Michael Reed for the Lions of Daniel? He has played a beauty here in the first half.
Eric, that was perfect coverage, stride for stride, inside-out coverage. I tell you, what these young quarterbacks need to look at as we watch this, is he watched R.J. Webb the entire time down the field. Now, Mr. Reed picks up on that. He just runs stride for stride, and Webb turns around, looks at his football. He turns his head, ball's there, and he has perfect coverage. He's there to knock the ball down. So, great presence of mind by Mr. Reed. And, quarterbacks need to learn. You got to look off these receivers and then come back to them.
Well, Alan Sitterly, the coach of Daniel, and tells his quarterback, Terrence Reese, to take a snap and run out the first half clock. The difference in this, David Harrison, a 19-yard field goal at the start of quarter number 2. And that's where we are at halftime, 3-0. And let's go down to Tim Bachman. Tim?
Thanks a lot, Eric Thacker. Normally right here is when we do an interview with a head football coach. We're joined a little different twist tonight by Pickens Athletic Director, Steve Korn. Coach Korn, you've got a sweatshirt that says Pickens Athletics. It's not only about football at your fine school, it's also about girls sports, all sports, but the girls volleyball team, guys, they've won back-to-back state championships. That's 3 in a row. It's been a long time since they've lost, Coach.
They're not used to losing. They only know one way to play, and that's to win.
Standing over there to my left is Tracy Wade with 2 of these phenomenal female athletes, student athletes at Pickens. Tracy, take it away over there.
Yeah, that's right. When you said it's been a long time since they've lost, you weren't kidding. 58-0 in the last 3 years. They won 58 games. Girls, I'm here with Becca Wilson and Jessica Gravely, 2 of the Lady Flame members. How does it feel to win back-to-back-to-back state championships? feeling like I really never thought I'd be able to experience, and it's something everybody wants to do. And then, I mean, I've had the opportunity to do it 3 times, and it's just a memory that I'll cherish forever. Definitely something to be proud of. Now, I know you're just starting the season right now. How are things going for y'all so far?
They're going really well. We lost 7 seniors last year. We've got, I don't know how many sophomores. One of the most athletic classes I've ever seen. Stepping in and doing an awesome job. We've got a new coach, and she's really stepping in and doing a nice job, too.
Well, that is great. Good luck with your season this year. We'll definitely be following it.
That's exactly right. And, Coach, congratulations on a fine athletic program at Pickens. Not just a phenomenal football program, but a well-rounded student athletic program at Pickens.
We're proud of what we have, and we're really glad y'all here that people from outside can see us.
Thanks a lot, and we're getting ready for the Hames Music Halftime Show. And back upstairs to you guys, Eric. It's going to be a fun halftime show.
All righty, thank you very much, Tim Bachman. Again, the difference, a 19-yard field goal from David Harrison. And that's where we are, 3-0. Stay tuned when we return. It's the Hames Music Halftime festivities on the Burger King High School Game of the Week.
Well, we are excited about high school football on the Burger King High School Football Game of the Week, and part of the halftime festivities, the Hames Music Halftime Show, we get to sit down with a principal. The principal tonight is the senior administrator, if you will, to the principal for the Pickens High School Blue Flame, and Mr. Marion Lawson. Mr. Lawson, thank you so much for letting our viewers be a part of this exciting high school football game.
Tim, we appreciate you being here tonight, and we certainly appreciate all that Charter Communications is doing for Pickens High School tonight and featuring our team and as well as the Daniel Lions.
Now, as a principal, you really have a hand on the pulse of the campus, of the school. Not only the football team, the music program, the Blue Flame Marching Band doing a great job at halftime. What about academics? What about student life? Speak to me about those two things, the campus life at Pickens High School.
Tim, that's a great question. We've got a very spirited student body, almost 1,400 this year, and we have preached for the last 3 years just the theme of excellence. And our motto this year is above and beyond. And our students are involved in service learning projects through the Beta Club, through the SGA. They've done a lot of community-type activities, and we're just very proud of that as part of their academic success and their academic learning environment.
I guess your goal is to push them to strive for that level of excellence, and I think it's working at Pickens High School.
Yes, sir. We want to be excellent in ROTC, in the arts. We want to be excellent in athletics, but most of all in academics, and we've got an outstanding faculty here. Tim, we're real proud of all of our teachers and the hard work that they put in with the new state standards, and we're just working hard to promote academics at Pickens High and to prepare these students to be active and involved world citizens and contribute to their community.
I want two quick points, Mr. Lawson, before we let you go. One is this is a very community-oriented school. The community rallies around the Blue Flame, if you will. That's got to be something that you appreciate as a principal.
Oh, absolutely. The community support that we get here is without parallel. Our parents are fantastic. We've got a lot of community involvement in the school, and being a single school town is really a blessing. We get a lot of folks from the community and churches that are involved, and it gives our students a way to give back to the community also.
You said the name of the word, churches. I can't help but notice you have a shirt on that says Pickens FCA. I was talking to Coach Twito in the pregame before the kickoff, and he told me that the FCA here at Pickens High School is one of the largest, if not the largest, in the state, that the state FCA director actually was in attendance this morning. They meet on Friday mornings, and there was over 300 kids in that meeting this morning.
That's correct, Tim. Every Friday morning we have between 250 and 300 at FCA, sponsored by both our coaches as well as First Baptist Church of Pickens.
You got to be proud for that, and we hope you've enjoyed our visit or sit down with Mr. Lawson. Thanks again as a part of our Hames Music halftime show here on the Burger King High School Football Game of the Week.
Well, welcome back, everybody, as the Blue Flame and the Daniel Lions come back out. Take a look at some of the first half numbers. Not many numbers to share for Daniel. 89 yards rushing, most of that coming late in the second quarter. 11 yards passing for 100 yards. For Daniel, I'm sorry, going back to Daniel. 89 yards rushing for them, 11 yards passing. That's 100 yards. Pickens, 56 yards rushing, that coming mostly in the second half of the second quarter. And 0 passing yards as they're still looking for their first completed pass 0 for 4. So 100 yards for Daniel. Pickens, 56 yards. Big penalties hurt Pickens late in the first half when they were driving. 3 penalties for 25 yards, and Daniel was penalized twice for 20 yards. Daniel, though, in the first half did get the field goal, the 19-yarder by David Harrison, who's now 4 or 5 in that department. But the fumbles, they fumbled it 3 times and lost 2, and Pickens fumbled once but didn't lose that. So those are our numbers for the game. Some of the individual efforts, Mark Mert for Pickens rushed the ball 15 times for 70 yards. Not a bad average there. And Terrence Reese for Daniel, very productive in that first half, 8 carries for 63 yards. You take a look at the right leg of Sparks. Jackson Sparks, the senior, and he is saying, let me get some footwork.
And he should have down here, like if it went for those penalties you talked about, because they were, inside the red zone and just shot themselves in the foot with about 40 yards worth of penalties and couldn't quite get them back. But I'm looking for Pickens to come out. They really, started to develop that run game. Look for them to keep that up in the second half.
Daniel deferred till the second half. They'll have the second half kickoff when we return here on the Burger King Game of the Week. Daniel on top by 3. Let's go down to Tracy. Tracy?
Yeah, well, guys, I'm here with Pickens head coach Andy Twito. Coach, this has been a hard-fought football game. What are your thoughts as you head into the second half?
Well, I think the defense did a real good job. Stopped them a couple of times down close. We just have to do a little bit better offensively. We got a little bit more of a push there towards the end of the second half and generated a couple of first downs, but we've got to do better offensively.
Well, thanks for talking with us and good luck. Back upstairs to you guys.
All righty, thank you, Tracy. And he hit the nail on the head. Pickens has played some good defense. Look at the numbers. Only 100 yards of offense for Daniel. Productively, they average 338 yards a game, so they've cut that in half.
Sure have. I mean, it's been a defensive battle on both sides of the ball. And like I was talking about earlier with Pickens, that last drive until they shot themselves in the foot, they started to find their running game. Started to move the football. So they got to come out with a little bit of confidence, knowing they can move the football. Look for them to maybe open up a little bit more if they can't start this ground game the way they ended the first half.
Stars in the first half, I would say without a doubt, would have been Michael Reed.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, 2 interceptions went back, a touchdown prevention down here. So
that would have been a TD, right?
Oh, most certainly would have. And great presence of mind to bat that football down instead of knocking it up in the air and, have a freak catch in the end zone and still would have allowed a touchdown. So, yeah, Mr. Reed's playing a fine job. Great coverage, great presence of mind on the football field.
What did Alan Sitterly tell his troops, the Lions, at halftime?
Basically, let's keep on keeping on. We're, not a lot of points to show for it right now, but the defense playing very well. They've still got to, and Tim talked about their turnovers last year, and you can see, it's a little bit better, but they still haven't improved on it dramatically. They still turned the ball over a couple of times, and that's killed a couple of drives for them.
Well, they came in even on the turnover margin, lost 8, got 8. And now they are, turn it over twice to Pickens' once. So they're down 1 here in this football game. As we mentioned, Daniel elected to defer to the second half, so they'll get the football first. And for the first time, we'll see Jackson Sparks. You saw him warming up at halftime. So number 9 getting ready to give this football a wallop, and we'll be underway in the second half. 5-0, Pickens coming into the night. Daniel 4-1. Let's take a look at their victories. 31-3 over Seneca. They dumped Westside 36-25. Shut out Easley 23-0. And then Spartanburg, that great win 21-20. Their lone loss against the Eastside Eagles, John Carlisle ran it up and down the field 35-21.
As he does on a lot of teams.
Yeah. Did to Greer, too, didn't he? So here's Jackson Sparks' kick, and Daniel's going to receive it at the 15, and he's got a wall, and it's a big wall, and he's got a lot of running room as he brings it out. That is Chris McIntosh, as McIntosh is belted at the 48-yard line, but a fine return of 35-plus yards. So now Daniel goes back to work with Terrence Reese, their quarterback, who ran the option but put the ball on the turf a couple of times. As you mentioned, Matt, defense for Pickens right here needs to make a statement.
Most definitely, especially with Daniel coming out now in excellent field position, close to midfield to start the second half. Pickens' defense has got to step up big here.
Split backs and 2 receivers as you take a look at Terrence Reese. And he's going to keep it on the option. Tackled from behind by the Blue Flame. And if I'm not mistaken, that was Corey Alexander. Yep, it was Alexander, the 6'5", 250-pound defensive lineman.
Hey, what I like what Pickens is doing. Daniel likes to run the football. Pickens is going to come out with a 5-man defensive front. That's how you stop a run. They've got to step up big, keep these linebackers free to scrape up and down the line of scrimmage and plug these holes.
Michael Reed brings in the offensive play as David Harrison makes his way out on 2nd down and 8. And wrapped up. So, as we said, making a statement, Brandon Wimpy comes in and says, how do you do?
Eric, what's big on this? You also got to give credit to Tyler Ellenberg for Pickens. Watch the replay here.
Hey, disrupted.
He stays outside, doesn't get hooked like we talk about in a lot of games. He's the guy out there. He's got to turn this play in. Does so and lets Mr. Wimpy pursue inside out, scraping. Like we talked about, keeping those linebackers free, let them scrape. Come inside out and make the tackle.
Well, big possession here. 3rd down and 9. The line to make will be the Blue Flame just inside of their 45. Reese looks to throw. He rolls it out underneath, but that's not going to get it. He hauled it in, but it's still going to be 4th down, and let's call it 3 yards to go. It is going to be a catch. As Michael Reed, yes, you did haul that one in, but it's not going to go for a first down. And then Alan Sitterly, I'm sure, is going to punt this football away just short of the midfield strike.
I tell you, not a first down, but still great catch. Got to give him a lot of credit here. He went down. Pickens fans are really upset. They may have seen him trap the football, but nevertheless, they're going to get the ball back. It's fourth down, they're going to punt. So one of those no harm, no foul kind of calls.
J. Webb back deep to receive this punt from the foot of David Harrison, who represents the lone scorer on the scoreboard, his 19-yard field goal. The pass is low. No pressure. End over end kick. Webb is going to elect to let it hit. And it's going to roll inside the 10. And it keeps going down there at the 6. And it's Michael Reed who will mark it dead. And the Blue Flame will have their first second half possession deep inside of their own territory, trailing 3-0 on the Burger King High School Game of the Week.
Great punt, great ball control, pinning them deep. They got to go, 95 yards, 94 yards if they want to put some points on the board. So great job there. And we see so much of this now, these punt returners flirting with this football.
Oh, I know.
They're inches from this thing. I want to scream, get the heck out of the way. You don't know where these things are going to bounce.
Mark Merck is standing in his end zone, right at the goal line. And he's going to take the toss. There's some blocking there. If he cuts it outside, he brings it up inside, and he gets about 6 or 7 yards, but I think he had that corner on the outside.
It was close. Donovan Burt, defensive end out there for Daniel. He was tied up, but he was out there. I don't know if he could have shaken that block or if Merck could have gotten around him. I think he could have gotten around him, and he would have had daylight if he could have. So
Merck was probably thinking, well, I'm sure about this one. Let me get that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, the other thing is Donovan Burt was being blocked out by the lineman, and usually when you see that, you're taught to come off his butt and cut inside. So just following his read block there.
Well, Coach Twito's team able to make the defensive statement. And now looking for first down yardage. And on the cutback, he's going to get it. So Mark Merck has found the running a lot better since the middle of the second quarter.
They found something, Eric, and they predominantly going over that left side, left offensive line side for Pickens. They found something out there. They found something that's working, and they're going to stick with it.
Next week, Daniel will entertain Belton Honeypath. And next week for Pickens, they will be at Wren. But right now, it's the 45th traditional of Pickens County.
First down and 10. Looking to next week, right?
Yeah. No, they're not. This time tripped up at the line of scrimmage and only about a yard or so there defensively. Number 40, Josh Huddick, the 206-pound junior, had a couple of stops in the first half. We have him unofficially with 3 tackles. Leading in tackles is Chad Hendricks. We have not called his name very much, Matt Tenner. 39 tackles, 2 for loss. Donovan Burt had 1 stop at the line of scrimmage. Leads the team in tackles with 5. We haven't called their name very much, so Pickens has done a good job.
Yeah, and also main reason you haven't called them out, a lot of their stops have come from the defensive front, some of the line of scrimmage for Daniel. So the front line for Daniel's doing a good job. Got R.J. Webb
quarterback,
back there.
And he throws an interception. That's
Yes,
Michael Reed.
Yes,
and Reed again with his 3rd interception and a pass breakup now inside of the 20 of Pickens. Wow. 3 interceptions, I do believe, unofficially here in this ball game.
And the touchdown stopper break up before the in the first half. So okay, he's one of those secondary guys.
Or does he have a fumble recovery and 2 interceptions? That's what he's got. Not 3 interceptions. A fumble recovery and 2 interceptions. Michael Reed playing big tonight. So you go back with Terrence Reese on the option, and then you get a flag out of the back judge's pocket. And that was while the play was in progress, and you kind of wonder if that's not on the Daniel offense.
Okay, giving credit to Mr. Reed. He's one of those secondary guys that you find him on the field and you throw away from him. You go somewhere else. You see who he's covering, you go somewhere else.
Well, the back judge looks at the secondary, and they're calling a defensive hold in the secondary against the Blue Flame. So that's going to march this football even deeper
in the middle of the field. It may have been a hold on the tight end. preventing him from coming off the line of scrimmage to get downfield because it was thrown by the back judge, like you said. It was right in the middle of everything where the tight end maybe kind of released down the middle of the field.
Well, first down and goal now inside of the 10, scrimmaging from the Blue Flame 8. R.J. Webb, we said we'd see both quarterbacks. They had to have poise, and R.J. threw the interception to Michael Reed, and now the toss, and twisting and turning and banging down to the 5-yard line, David Harrison. Or check that, that's Oglesby.
Strong run in there.
Gerard Oglesby, the sophomore.
I like the call. He fakes that pitch out and hands it off underneath, coming through, trying to get Pickens over pursuing, going out to that fake pitch, and cuts it up in the middle.
Daniel looks like UCLA, don't they, in those uniforms?
They look just like them. Change that helmet up a little bit, put some lettering on it, and be identical.
Second down and goal from the 6, and you've got a line of scrimmage penalty coming.
Dead ball, a lot of times that goes against the offense, but I didn't see what happened.
Especially in the red zone. Yep, false start. Get anxious, especially when you're looking to run block.
Oh, yeah.
You want to attack, and you want to lean on somebody.
Get up on your toes, you get up on the ball, the ends of your fingertips, and you get leaning. And
on the balls of your feet and want to fire off.
Right. That is one thing a lot of these defenders are taught. You can read a lot by these offensive linemen if they're in pass blocking or run blocking mode. Watch their feet, watch their fingertips. If their fingertips bend over and you can see white, they're going to run the football. If they're on their heels, they're on their fingertips, and they're straight, they're going to throw the football.
Good defense again. The Blue Flame hanging tough inside of the 10. A field goal would be big here for the Blue Flame defense. I mean, it would be real big for them right now. And it's going to be third down and goal from the 8.
Eric, you're not taught before the game how kickers and punters can play a huge role in this game. Possession type of football game, and it's playing out so far this way. Punters put their teams in good field position. 3 points is all we have for scoring so far. So,
twin receivers to the far side. The backs are split. They look to throw. Stepping up inside and being hammered right at the 8, falling forward to the 7 is Reese. But the Blue Flame do their job defensively as they defend inside of their own 10.
Try to put an additional 3 up as we see the replay. And this is just pretty much a called quarterback draw. So he had the option back there, but he didn't really look to throw much at all. So
Tyler Ellenberg that was there for the big stop. I mean, it was Ellenberg that put him on the turf. Another field goal coming. Here's Harrison. This is a 24-yarder, and it's up and through. So he's got a 19-yarder, and he's got a 24-yarder.
And I'm glad for him if he, is going to make a field goal. I'm glad we got him on here so his family can be proud of him. So.
Yep. And with that field goal, 6-0, our new score. Well, the kickoff and bringing it out is Profit from the Blue Flame. Bo Profit, the senior, 180-pounder, brings it out to the 25-yard line. 4:55 remaining on the Burger King High School game of the week. And Daniel on top with a pair of field goals, 6-0. 19-yarder and a 24-yarder, both from the foot of David Harrison, who is now 5 out of 6.
Eric Drew Twito is going to come back into the quarterback position. No, I'm sorry. He's going to come back in the receiver position, and R.J. Webb is going to stay at quarterback. And
Webb bobbles the snap, but he rolls. He's got pressure, but he eludes that, and now he's going to throw it over to the middle. The tight end's got it, and no, he dropped it. Oh, my, but there's a flag down.
Yeah, actually, they blew it dead. He caught the football and heard the whistles, and he stopped, and we'll catch it again.
Well, that's confusing because you keep going with the play.
Yeah, I think they blew it late. They're still going live here, and as soon as he catches the ball, you can see him let up and stop because he hears the whistle calling him dead. And you'll see him here. He's just going to stop. So from up here, you can't see when the whistle's blown. So
well, you wouldn't blow a whistle in the middle of the play unless you're protecting a quarterback or something like that, right? I mean, you're not going to blow that play dead.
Unless he, the only thing I can think of, maybe called him in the grasp, and I really don't think that could have been it because he was still running free. So.
Yeah, and he released the football. I mean, absolutely. So now they're conversing. And that would be, well, as you look at Coach Twito there, I'm sure,
I think he's just as puzzled as we are right now.
Well, we do have a flag down, too, so let's say that we need to find out what that's about. But I would hate to see that pass go for naught and then get hit with well, if it's a Pickens penalty, no damage. But if it's a Daniel penalty, then you've got, hopefully, a decision to make.
And usually if it's a dead ball and you see the offense quit like that.
Or you would hope to have a decision. Go ahead.
Well, if you see the offensive guy quit like that in the middle of a play and it's not against them, then why is it a dead ball penalty? Where he could still been running with a football, and who knows what could have happened with the play.
Yeah, because he had it. Ellenberg hauled it in.
I'll tell you one thing I like about pluses and minuses of going with tandem quarterbacks. You got exchange problems, and you can see, we had the snap hit the ground, and you have that a lot with centers. I'll come back to that if we get this call.
If they're done conferring, I guess they are now.
I think he's going to come over and talk to Coach Twito first before he tells everybody what's going on. But the one good thing about the way they run their tandem quarterbacks is when one's quarterback, the other one's a receiver, and they understand the mentality of each to know when one's in trouble, where to go find the open spot to get that ball dropped to them and get pressure off of the quarterback.
So what do we have? We had a do-over one time. I'm not kidding you.
It might be.
We've had a do-over.
Whistle. Automatic replay.
There we go. It's a do-over.
He's saying inadvertent whistle?
Yep. Automatic replay. I was going to say we had a do-over a couple of years ago when we were doing a game, and we all kind of cracked up because you don't see that very often. You'll see offsetting penalties replay the down, but hardly ever do you get a do-over. And here we go. We got a do-over
in the sandlot, and hey, you did this. No, you did that. Okay, we'll do it over. Type thing. I've never called a game and heard of a do-over.
So I still don't know what the flag was about. So the flag must have been a wave off.
That must have been it.
And then
helping to stop the play with an inadvertent whistle, I don't know.
So the reception by Ellenberg does not go into the stat book, and it's first down and 10 for the Flames.
And that's a tough break for Pickens, but that was a good play.
R.J. Webb on the ISO, twisting. I tell you what, that's a tough run right there. Mark Merck should have been dropped at the line of scrimmage, and he spun ahead for 6 yards.
Again, we talk about him, watch him run here. Every time he catches that football, every time he gets hit with the football, he's always going to go forward. He's going to get you additional yardage every time he gets hit. And that's just that athleticism, that body lean a lot of people refer to. And he gets going forward, get those legs, he keeps churning with them, gets great extra effort there.
Give him 7 yards on the play. The toss. Kick out and grabbing the shirt just enough to tripping up at the first down line was Chris McIntosh.
I tell you, that was a big tackle, Eric.
Yeah, because he grabbed him by the shirt.
That's a strong tackle. That's hard to do. He was falling down away from him, grabbed his jersey, still able to pull him down. If not, he could have gotten a lot more yardage.
But I like the fact that Pickens has found their running game, and they found it midway through the second quarter. R.J. Webb did throw a pick, but only yielded a field goal for Daniel. And that's where we're at, 6-0. Little counter action and high stepping and picking up 4. As Daniel continues to be productive on the ground.
Eric, I like to give credit to the offensive lineman when you can point him out. Tyler Hendricks did a great job. He was a pulling guard on that, coming from left to right down your screen, and just came down hard. So,
getting it done up front.
I like it. The junior, 225-pound junior guard just pulled down hard and made a good block and sprung him in there for a couple of yards.
And not only does Pickens want to try to get points here naturally, but they want to try to wear down the Daniel defense as well. Remember, Daniel proved that they could play in the fourth quarter. They were shut out in the second half against Spartanburg until they got that touchdown late. Oh, there's some room, and there's a big run. That is Brandon Wimpy, and Wimpy will have first down yardage inside of Daniel territory at the 48-yard line, and they do maintain possession.
He got lucky because he did cough the football up, but he had a teammate fall on it, so that was a fumble. Good break and great run there. You'll see the replay here. And I tell you, they found something on that left-hand side, and that ball's out. And he covers his own fumble, so good heads-up play there.
Lock it in between the thighs,
And
squeeze on it.
They found something that works over there, and I'm looking for Daniel to try to do something else on their right side of their defensive front. A substitution, get a fresh body in there, stack a linebacker over there, do something, scrape somebody out there to try to shut that run down.
Drew Twido at the top of your screen as a wide out. R.J. Webb. Toss it. Again, the left side. There's the block by the fullback, but stood up, and I mean stood straight up. Daniel Lyons, and I believe that was either the defensive end or the linebacker.
Eric, it was both. And if you want to see, look up in a textbook how you stop a pitch sweep, that's how you do it. Defensive end didn't get hooked and came upfield to force it in. Linebacker, you call that the alleyway, in between the tight end and where the defensive end goes to where he contains his football. Linebacker comes up through that alley, snuffs this thing down, and that was picture perfect. Daniel.
1 minute and 40 seconds, quarter number 3. And Pickens, 2nd down and 8. And moving. 5-step drop. Looks left. Nothing there. He's sending him deep now. And is he break one-on-one coverage? Nope. And too tall for Bo Profit, who was trying to separate from the defender.
You got to give credit to the defensive front, too. Put a lot of pressure on RJ back there scrambling.
I like he saw that he wasn't open in the flat and said, go on, I'll get you.
He's got good field presence out there. So they haven't had a lot of success yet throwing the football, but he's got some field presence back there to direct the guys around, try to find that open spot and move the football.
Think Sam Weiss taught him that generalship?
I would.
Who's
I'd
still here, by the way.
Guarantee.
Yeah. Sam Weiss here, I believe this is his, I know it's at least his 2nd, maybe even his 3rd. He lives in Pickens County and just helps out Coach Quido.
Volunteer coach, retired here.
And they're going big. Again, Profit on one-on-one. And again, it's Michael Reed. He underthrew him, and Michael Reed at that time could have had his 3rd pick. But you know what? There's a flag down. But did he knock that down knowing that that was 3rd down and maybe forced him to punt? Or
hard to say.
So sometimes, it's better to knock it down than get the interception.
Oh, most definitely. I tell you, got to give credit to Bo Profit here because he turned from the receiver to the defensive back there to try to keep Mr. Reed from intercepting this football. And that was one of the reasons why Mr. Reed had to knock this thing down. Michael Reed batted the ball down, and Bo Profit had something to do with that.
Let's go down to Tracy. Tracy?
Well, guys, I'm down here with Michael Thorslin. He's the principal over at Daniel High School. We've seen a lot of action from the football team on the field tonight. I want to take a look at the students. Can you tell me a little bit about that? I know you're quite involved with Habitat for Humanity.
Last year, our student body took on a project to build a Habitat house for, actually, it was a teacher's assistant from one of our feeder elementary schools. It just kind of became a school-wide project to build the house as well as raise all the money to pay for the house. Really good project for the school last year.
That's great. Now, guys, in case you're wondering, I haven't shrunk here, or I haven't gotten taller. Mr. Thorson was just so tall, I needed some extra help.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. It's like, wow.
I'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you much. Standing about 6'8".
Hey, what happened down there?
Fine punt by Pickens, and they're pinning Daniel deep. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. Daniel on top, 6-0, and it's been 2 field goals. The story of this game. David Harrison from 24 and 19 yards. Pickens has moved the ball in the middle of the field, but when they got close to getting to the red zone, their drives have stalled. So now it's Reese who goes back on the attack with his Lions, and he runs the option. He holds it, but he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. Corey Alexander, 6'5", 250-pounder, wrapped him up and didn't let him go.
Tell you, great stop in there. He does a good job of staying at home. He snuffs things out, comes down the line, and makes good, sure, solid tackles. He's had a lot of them tonight.
So 1 play remaining. More than likely, if it's a rush, and that'll close out quarter number 3.
Now, Eric, I'm also a little bit confused. I don't mean to cut you off, but he's back to wearing the number 70 jersey. And when he started this game off, he was in the number 99 jersey.
That's right.
Yeah. I just noticed
right.
that.
He
We
did,
keep
didn't
calling
he?
him. I was like, I think you called the wrong guy, but no. He's
Well,
back into his old number 70 jersey.
Well, Brian Sloan says I wear jersey number 5, Matt Tenner, and I could do something too.
Yeah, let's get my name on there. Call me out. Give me some loving over here. So, fine tackle. I tell you, Pickens playing some good defense. See the replay here? I tell you, good job of hanging on, closing down the line of scrimmage. And Sloan leads his team in tackles, and, you can see there why. He's closes on the football, plugs the gaps, and makes good share tackles.
And that's how we'll close out quarter number 3. 2 field goals for Daniel. They're on top, 6-0. 1 quarter left when we return on the Burger King High School Game of the Week. Welcome back, everybody, to the start of the 4th and final quarter. And we had a deep pass over the middle that was called interference on Pickens, and it was kind of questionable there, but it's still going to give Daniel a first down out to the 30-yard line. So that's why they are at the 30 on first down and 10. And dives ahead for about 3, and now you got a late flag coming in as there was a skirmish and fighting for maybe a loose ball or some extracurricular activities in the pile.
That may be some frustration stemming from that last play because Pickens guys are obviously upset.
Well, the penalties have gone against Pickens. The penalties have not gone Pickens' way here tonight. I mean, they've had a couple of them kill drives and
Dead ball, personal foul, illegal helmet contact, right here. Taking 15.
Eric, that's just one of those things where Pickens has got to regroup, regain their composure, realize they shoved themselves in the foot a few times, got some bad calls, against them. Not bad calls by the officials, just,
right.
Bad calls that's going to affect your team. But they've got to regain their composure, get their poise back, and say, hey, let's play some good football. 6-0. They're obviously in this ball game will still go either way, and they need to stop right now, shoot themselves in the foot any further.
Tell you what, another Harrison field goal would loom large at the 49. Hurdling the line of scrimmage is Patterson. Came in second in the rushing department with 307 yards. Daniel's done a good job against the running game of the running backs. It's been Terrence Reese that has been the productive workhorse on the ground game for the Lions. And the clock becoming the enemy of Pickens. Because this is a team that's not going to air it out all over, so they don't want to get down any more than what they are. That's why I'm saying a field goal again will loom large because that's 2 scores. On the toss, and he's able to get away. And he has a first down as Patterson inside of Blue Flame territory at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Eric. Pickens is that run control. We'll take a look at the replay here, but Pickens is the run control offense where for them to put points on the board, they've got to sustain long drives. And the way Daniel keeps hitting them deep and making them, go the length of the field with the time, you're exactly right. 3 more points on the board could be devastating.
Both these teams opening up Region 1 3A play. And the quarterback on the keeper, Reese, is tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but falls ahead for a couple. And did he put the football down on the turf again? Pickens is saying they have it, but
Fish is saying he's down.
So Reese has been bitten with the fumble bug here in this football game.
I tell you, you don't want to burn a timeout, this early in the 4th quarter, but the Pickens defense right now is rattled. They've lost their composure. A timeout right now may help them settle down and get back into their type of football that they play.
Reese on the toss, and the Blue Flame are there. And I tell you, the first one there to disrupt the whole thing, Ty Nally. Wimpy on the stop. Nally was there to disrupt that play and force it for naught. So now a big 3rd down.
You see Nally come in here. Sad thing is, that doesn't go in the stat book on for Mr. Nally. But he does.
Wimpy gets the stop.
Wimpy gets a tackle. Wimpy made a fine tackle, but it wouldn't have occurred if Nally would have come in here and disrupted it the way he did.
The line to make is the 27 of the Flame. On 3rd down is this 2-down territory. It's the draw. It's Patterson, and he's upended. And a good open field tackle, putting him head over heels by the linebacker from Pickens, and that is Bo Profit. actually one of the DBs, and it's going to bring up, or is it a first down? Yep, they're going to say it's a first down.
Change. There are.
It was close. So now a new series. And the clock now inside of 9 minutes.
This is where Terrence Reese needs to be heads up and use all of that play clock as that clock runs before he snaps the football.
And he'll keep it on the option. And he'll gain 3.5, 4 yards. And coming out is, for Pickens, is Chaz Anthony. And Anthony very upset.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Mr. Alexander jumped over the pile and landed right into Mr. Anthony's hand.
Oh, okay.
And about smashed his hand.
So that's why he was coming out with his head.
Yeah, he's a little shaken up, got his hand, a little stinger on his hand, so he'll be all right.
Toss left side, could have got a hold there, no call, and look at the determination on the run where it's now first down and goal as Oglesby, or check that is Patterson.
Look, I tell you what I like on these sweeps of Daniel is they're very shallow, meaning the running back does not go very deep in the backfield when he gets the football. He takes 2 steps and he's across the line of scrimmage, to where a normal sweep, you're about 3-4 yards in the backfield, giving the defense plenty of time to pursue.
Pickens with their backs against the wall, stood up, and they had an exchange problem right there. Terrence Reese almost put that football back on the turf again. He was able to find his fullback, who was stood up, but still, that was close to being a fumble there.
Yep, and then Bo Profit and Mr. Sloan, their leading tackler, comes in and snuffs that thing out and makes him pay for almost a bad exchange.
Well, definitely in the range of David Harrison, who has 2 field goals, one from 19, one from 24. Toss left side, again stood up and wrapped up. Brandon Wimpy there, one of the guys on the stop for the Flame, but it's going to bring up third down, and let's call it about 6. They can get a first down inside of the 1. Let's call it third down at 7. They can get a first down inside of the 1. So big down right here. Inside of 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
This would be a big stop for Pickens right here if they can come up with one.
The field goal will still loom large for Daniel, but it's better than giving up the touchdown, and they're going to wrap up the quarterback. Good defense there, and the first man there was the guy who's been playing peekaboo with jerseys, Corey Alexander, who started the game with 99, ended up with 70, and it was number 70 right here on the stop. Let's take a look.
Disrupted it, and then again, Mr. Wimpy's there to clean it up. You'll see him come in. Actually, I'm sorry, Mr. Sloan and
Ellenberg.
Mr. Ellenberg, a whole host of folks came
Alexander,
in. But Corey Alexander has disrupted so many plays from the beginning, letting other people come in and clean it up.
29-yarder, the pass, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. So our new score, 3 field goals, all from Harrison, all the points on the Burger King High School game of the week. Let's take this time out. The Flame needs to light that scoreboard when we return. Bo Profit on the kick return brings it across the 20 out to the 28-29 line. 5:48, and the Blue Flame, if they want to light that blue fire on that scoreboard, they're going to need to get something done right now. Tim Bachman, what do you have for us?
I've got an excited group of ladies. Now, they're not excited about the scoreboard, but they're excited about their Pickens Blue Flame. These are all team moms. I can say all their names, but there's just too many of these ladies here. They're crazy about Pickens. Tracy, why are these moms so special?
These moms are extremely special. They make a pregame meal for all the players every week. And not only that, they were kind enough to feed us tonight as well. Karen, let me ask you, what was on tonight's menu?
We had chicken sandwiches and oven-fried potatoes and slaw and fruit and dessert.
Well, that is delicious. And not only are they awesome cooks, they are the #1 fans out here. We can hardly contain them down here. We'll send it back upstairs to you guys.
Well, on that play, you could hardly contain R.J. Webb and his quarterback / receiver buddy Drew Twido. The pitch and catch went for first down yardage, but then Daniel started clapping their hands as a flag was thrown, and one of the defenders said, "Hey, look, I think Twido was celebrating or something." We have roughing the passer.
Roughing the quarterback. And
a personal foul. Okay, there it is. It's a personal foul against Daniel. So this is a huge penalty against the Lions.
Sure is.
So what was going to be first down and 10 at the 42 is now going to be first down and 10 at the Daniel 42 or 43-yard line.
There's old Mr. Football Head. He just won't go away, will he?
Nope. First down and 10 at the Lion 43. 5 minutes, 37 seconds remaining. The Flame have to take this football into the end zone. And now, I think it was 2 penalties. Is that what it was? It was roughing the passer, and then they tacked on a dead ball personal foul.
Wow.
So now you tack on another 15. There it is, double fouls. And when you have a dead ball personal foul like that, that's how it works. So now they're scrimmaging at the Lion 26.
Because the personal foul will come from the spot of the play.
That's right.
So that's huge.
Looking to throw over the top, complete. Again, this is Twido out of bounds at the 22. Only a gain of about 6 yards, but it is positive gain.
And great presence of mind to step out of bounds and know where you're on the field.
The Blue Flame, this is the deepest penetration that they've had during this game. One time before, they were right around this area, but then the penalty and then the sack and then the other penalty pushed them back. The Blue Flame and Andy Twido know that they need to score on this possession. The clock becoming the enemy. They're down by 9, but R.J. Webb has his guys in blue on the move. As Webb takes a 5-step drop, goes toward the end zone. It's complete, but it's separated inside of the 5-yard line. And I tell you, it was Robert Crooks who separated him from the ball. Crooks came in and just tattooed him.
We'll watch this. And also Doug Moore, they're going to sandwich him right here to separate the football. He had it. Then good closure by the 2 safeties closing on the football in double coverage back there. Playing halves, and they're going to close on the football, and they're going to sandwich him right as the ball gets there. That was just great defensive coverage there.
Both Robert Crooks had the backside, Doug Moore had the front side, and they did what safeties are supposed to do.
Yeah, they're playing halves back there. And that came right in the middle of both their zones, and they just both converged on the football and got there at the same time.
But a fine pass by R.J. Webb.
It was on the money, right on the money. Almost hauled it in. If he would have brought that in, that would have been a magnificent catch.
2 plays to get 5 yards to keep this drive alive. Twido is flanked out to the right. Webb rolls that way, looks for him, and now is flushed out, and he's going to put the ball on the ground, but recovers his own fumble after the sack as he's dropped back at the 29-yard line. Coming in is Huddock on his 4th stop here today.
Huddock played a nice game here on defense. Take a look at it. Webb's back there. He's got some time, and then the pocket finally breaks down on him, and Huddock comes in. That's a good tackle, good wrap it up. Webb, ill-advised, holding that football out there. He coughs it up, and he was very lucky to recover it.
Well, this is the play of the game right here. 4:40 remaining, trailing by 9, needing a first down, so they're going to have to air it out. The line to make is going to be the Lions 12 or 17. Check that, the 17. If they get inside the 17, that keeps the drive alive. The play of the game right here. And now you've got stoppage of play momentarily. So you get built up and you get ready for it, and then
penalty flag out there, and they're going to call something on Pickens. Unless they lined up.
Offside.
Did they line up in the encroachment? Yeah.
Lined up in the neutral zone.
Wow.
So either
that's just a mental breakdown there.
And you kind of wonder, I go back, we talked about this last week or the week before. A lot of times it's usually not your guard and tackles. It could be the helmet of the center or one of the wideouts, their toe. But a lot of times the referee usually tells them to scoot back or get back.
You'll see the receivers go out and they'll point to the official to make sure they're lined up on him to make sure they're okay.
Now the line to make. They need 15 yards. They still need to get to the 17. Webb is flushed. He needs the first down. He has the corner, but now he airs it out in the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete, and it was too far out and to the right. And now you've got a late flag. Now hold on. If this is a defensive penalty, then you still have possession, but let's see.
Eric, this came very late where R.J. Webb was laying all by himself, so I don't know what this is.
That unsportsmanlike conduct, I guess, may be
Or did he throw that football over the line of scrimmage?
That's it. Illegal forward pass.
Yeah, he threw that ball over the line of scrimmage.
So illegal forward pass.
And that comes with the
loss of down.
Loss of down, so they can't replay the play. So that'll turn the ball over to Daniel, who was going to run the football right here. I promise you that.
Well, the Flame have 3 timeouts. You go back, 2 costly sacks in this ball game. Daniel got 2 big sacks in this ball game, one late in the second quarter, and now one late here in the fourth quarter. As night has fallen in, Daniel trying to throw out the knockout punch with a couple of first downs. So here's Terrence Reese with the back split behind him, and the Blue Flame are in the neutral zone.
It's hard to say what they're going to call because
were they drawn off?
Well, Michael Jones left over too, so if he took off before they actually made contact in the neutral zone, it could go against Daniel. So
as they're conferring,
still curious of why in the first half the one official called out Dexter Durham on that penalty because. And we're not supposed to either name any names when they get called for a penalty. They're just some fine high school student athletes out there. And, you shouldn't name guys who, unless it's obvious. But that is going to go against Michael Jones. He was out there. And he took off as Pickens crossed the neutral zone. So.
First down and 15.
Still running down for Daniel. Every down for the rest of the game is going to be a running down for Daniel.
And then the quarterback's going to take it, and he's going to be sacked, and another flag flies. Another good stop by Alexander as he takes away the option.
And it's smart to keep the ball in Terrence Reese's hands. Less exchanges you had, less problems you're going to have.
That's true.
Keep the ball from going on the ground. And he's been their number 1 ball carrier so far today, so let's go ahead and keep it in his hands.
Well, he's been their rusher. How about the play defensively? I go back to Michael Reed, just an outstanding performance.
Oh, God, hats off to Michael Reed. He's been, like you said before, recovered fumbles. He's intercepted the football. He's knocked down a couple of passes, one in the end zone. Could have been a touchdown easily. Key player. And then, it's 9-0. There's 3 field goals. The only way those points got up there. Yes, they moved the football down the field, but if it wasn't for David Harrison's foot, this game would be knotted up at 0-0. So
that's correct. It's because Pickens has played some good defense. They have played decent defense.
Great defense on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
It's been, penalties, turnovers.
Field
it's
position.
been the tail of the tape so far this ball game. And field position. We talked about that over and over. Kickers and punters are going to play huge in this ball game. They have so far.
Well, you don't think Daniel's going to get a first down on first down and 25. That's a long way to get a first down. And now Pickens is going to start burning those timeouts as clock runs inside of 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Now stopped at 3 minutes and 36.
And this game isn't over for Pickens.
No,
they're going to force a punt, and they can get a score. Get the football back with an onside kick. They're right back in this thing, Eric.
Let's take this timeout. 9-0, and it's Daniel on top on the Burger King game of the week. Second down and 25. Again, a delay in the backfield as they just hand off and tripped up at the line of scrimmage. The Burger King High School Game of the Week is made possible by First National Bank of Spartanburg, Prime Sirloin of Spartanburg, Little Caesars of Spartanburg, Union and Gaffney, Arby's. Nobody says roast beef like Arby's. Union, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Union, who says, go, go, go. U.S. Army, we're an army of one. Jostens of Spartanburg and Greenville. Burger King, where the fire's ready. Georgia Carpet Outlet. And West Bullock Bedrooms, specialty sleep. So another timeout. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, and let's go down to Tim Bach.
Thank you, Eric Thacker. Tomorrow will be an anniversary of sorts for some students at Daniel High School. 1 year ago tomorrow, Jason Sullivan, who's standing to my left, was in an automobile along with his brother Ryan and his first cousin Shane Pilgrim. There was a tragic automobile accident in which Shane was taken from us here on Earth, and Jason, your principal, said if I could pick one student to talk to from Daniel High School that exemplifies excellence and persevering through tragedy, that'd be you. Has this catapulted you to a new perspective on life?
Yes, sir. It's helped me, go on my life. I mean, him passing away, it don't affect me, but it helps me out.
It's got to be something that caused you to focus on life and what matters most, because you were actually driving the car. It wasn't your fault, but it was a tragedy. He literally died in your arms, but now you can see him motivating you to excellence. Wouldn't you say that?
Yes, sir.
He's looking down right now. What would you want to say to him?
I love you. Be with me and watch over me.
All right, young man, a fine young man. Tomorrow is a very sobering anniversary, but one that they've turned around tragedy into triumph at Daniel High School.
Tim, thank you very much for sharing that with us, and good luck to you, young man. We wish you all the best. Well, it's fourth down, and Pickens playing some good defense. Now stop the clock again, so they're going to get this football back, and they have shown that they can move the football in the air. Their last possession, they did throw a couple of them. They took that big sack, but R.J. Webb has been productive with throwing that football. Well, next week, big game as Region 2 4A heats up on the Burger King High School Game of the Week. Both those teams enter region play. The Gaffney Indians, under their first-year coach, Coach Strickland, has got those guys on a roll. The Tribe is really scalping everybody that they face so far. The Burns Rebels haven't missed a beat since winning that state title last year. We'll be at Nixon Field for Gaffney and Burns. That's going to be a good one next week, right?
Oh, it's going to keep magnificent. Coach Bentley's going to air that thing out like crazy. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Fine, two teams are going to be on the field. Good two teams here on the field. And that's not a live ball. We do have a penalty on the ground. But again, as you mentioned, these kick returners at all levels are really flirting with that live football.
And I tell you, on that case, I didn't see a problem with it because he saw potential to maybe catch that ball on the fly and make something big happen for his team. They haven't put points on the board. He's going to try to make something big happen. So I can't fault him too much for that. But, yeah, more often than not, we see these guys, what are you doing around the football? And I don't know what happened on this penalty.
If he did pick that up, he did have a lane.
He sure did. And I don't know if they can call the Daniel defender for being too close to him on that halo rule because he was running towards
Well, that's what
the
they're calling him. They're saying
he interfered with him.
Yep. In order to
but at the last minute, he took off running towards the football. So, it's a tough call to make there. And I'm not here to dispute the call, so they've done a fine job throughout the ball game. So
they're out of timeouts. They trail by 9. They've got 3 minutes and 12 seconds to get that flame lit on the scoreboard. We have not seen.
To light it twice.
Yep, they're going to have to light that flame twice in order to win this ball game. And it could be a touchdown, and then an onside kick, and then you call on the foot of Jackson Sparks to try to win the game for you. But they need a touchdown. So now they're going to probably move him back and re-kick.
I think that's what they're going to do.
I like that call.
And if I were Pickens, I would make him too, because if you're going to have a breakdown or a mistake, more likely it's going to happen on a special team. And good choice by Pickens here. You got to make something happen. Here's the call.
Do you set up the return, or do you rush him?
I set up the return. I've always favored setting up a return more often than going for the kick, but that's just me. I like the wall. Don't see much of a wall anymore. You see a lot of wedge returns. I'm partial to the wall. See, I've seen a lot of success with it in the past, and for years you just don't see as much of it. Old time football.
Oh, not that old.
But they back him up too, so they're going to have a better chance for good field position. Maybe catch his ball on the fly like he tried to before, make something happen. So
Harrison going to be hitting this from about his 17-yard line once he leans into it. And it's R.J. Webb back to receive. Big, high spiraling kick, and it drives Webb back. Webb's not going to pick it up. That time, he should have fielded it on the fly, I would think. We don't want to be critical of the young man, but that time, I think I would have hauled that in. He would have saved 10 yards.
And another late flag comes in, Eric. Way downfield, a late flag, and I'm guessing that's going to be another personal foul. I don't know who it's on, but it looked like it was very late. And it is. Another personal foul. It's going to go against Pickens, and that's
going to hurt.
That's very, very costly. So moving back a little bit more. And again, that's that composure. They never quite regained their composure from those personal fouls before, and what they thought may have been a call that didn't go in their favor. They never kind of regrouped from that. Timeout, I think, early in the game could have helped settle them down and get them back focused to their task at hand. And
then when they found some rhythm, they just couldn't finish it. And that's the thing. They just couldn't get over that hump to finish one of those drives. And then you had a big sack or a penalty that took them out of field position. And there you go.
Yep.
I mean, in the middle of the field, they've moved the football. They have been able to move the football, but things like this have hurt them.
Yep, you're right. You got to credit Daniel something, too, on this because they stepped up big, preventing them from getting into their rhythm and making things happen.
Well, they're 88 yards away.
They've got to air it out. They've got to.
So Twido goes
to go
back.
vertical.
Twido, low snap. Is able to keep that up. He's going to air it out big in the middle of the field, and oh, wow, what defensive play that time. Breaking on the ball, Doug Moore.
Great job, because I tell you what, Mark Merck was open for a little while. He was running full stride. This ball almost fell into his hands. And if not for Doug Moore closing on the football, I tell you,
it would have been a reception. Huh?
It would have been a reception with a lot of yardage. He had a lot of room to run. And I tell you, talk about closing speed. That's what Doug Moore showed on that play. As soon as the ball went up, he closed on that football, went up and knocked that thing down.
Burger King High School football game of the week, each and every week on Saturdays, 11 a.m. on TV 10, and Tuesdays, 8 o'clock on Charter Channel 99. We invite you for more information about the Burger King High School game of the week. Visit us at the World Wide Web on TV10.com, your source for high school football in the upstate of South Carolina. That's pass interference, isn't it?
No, actually,
he got his hand on it first?
I think he got there right at the point of contact when the football was there. That was Tony Jeter coming in, number 21 for Daniel. You can see the replay here. I think he gets there right at the exact moment that he should.
Yeah, he did.
I think that was perfect coverage.
I'm sorry to the Jeter family. That was a good separation.
You won't get in trouble. Mr. Jeter, that was fine defense. This is Matt Tenner telling you that, so don't call me. I think he had a great play on that one.
Well, 2 plays in order to keep this drive alive, 2:37 remaining. And they need first downs. They need to move the ball. Drew Twido. Flushed. Heads up shovel pass as he puts it in the hands of Mark Merck, who's going to get a first down, and he's going to get out of bounds. So the drive stays alive. Good poise and present by the senior quarterback, Drew Twido.
That's just one of those cases of play breaking down, let's make something happen, and that's what he does here. So it doesn't look pretty, but it gets you yardage, it gets you down the field, and that's the kind of stuff that, that's why you win ball games, because you can adapt and make on-the-fly decisions and just flip the ball out there. Take another look at it, and different point of view.
That's heads-up play.
That's very heads-up. I mean, you see big-time players make.
Used to do that.
Yeah. And a great crackback block you saw there on the end.
Twido is flushed, and he's got running room. And he cuts it over here to the near side. Then he's belted at the 42-yard line. Oh, man, Donovan Burt with the hurt. Puts him back on his backside, but he hangs onto the football and keeps the drive going.
I tell you, Donovan Burt says, how do you do? Let's put an end to this run.
Well, Twido fakes the little hitch pass. Now throw it incomplete, and that's a good call. Just stop the clock. There wasn't any there. Nothing there. Don't force anything. And you still have another down. But 1 minute and 57 seconds, so the clock now the enemy. They're going to have to get something here in the next three or four downs to hit pay dirt, get the onside kick, and then get in field goal range with Jackson Sparks. So Twido comes in and gets the play from Andy Twido, who, yes, is the father of the signal caller. Over the middle, too tall, and they just didn't time that one. That was just your quick one-step drop and throw over a little wide receiver pop. And then you got a Blue Flame player down.
And Eric, I think this is the first injury we've had of the ball game, which is good news on the injury front. Not too good for the injured player here. I can't see a number yet, and I don't want to say a name until I'm for sure. I think I'm
54?
not going. I think it's number 54.
T.J. Bridges.
He's played a fine football game, and I think he's going to get up. I think he may have just gotten his bell rung or the wind knocked out of him.
Well, if anybody has, he's grabbing his left wrist.
It's his left forearm. It looks like maybe an elbow or.
Let's go ahead and take this time out as they take a look at T.J. Bridges. 9-0, 1 minute 54 remaining, and last chance for the Blue Flame to keep this drive alive. When we return on the Burger King High School Game of the Week. Get it?
Nope.
Well, on fourth down and short, trying to keep the drive alive, they go with their bread and butter, Mark Merck, and the Daniel Lions said, nope, we've seen enough of it, and they stopped it. And that's going to be the ball game right there. The Blue Flame out of timeouts, could not convert on the fourth down, and now Daniel can celebrate. They brought about 1,000 fans with them, and now they're just inside of 2 minutes, 3 snaps away from winning this 45th meeting between these two schools. And they did it with defense when they had to, like right there.
They sure did. Defense stepped up huge for the Daniel Lions. Can't say enough about them. Can't say enough about Mr. Reed and the fine job he did in the secondary, but also that strong defensive front for Daniel also.
Well, Terrence Reese just going to go down and take 3 knees, and that'll be it.
And we got a stoppage. We got a penalty. Delay a game.
So moving back 5. And
the clock wasn't running beforehand, so one of those no harm, no fouls again. It's not going to affect the clock at all, so. Or then it adds up in the old penalty stat book, which you don't always like to see.
We invite you to join us for the posse game of the play of the game, rather. I was going to say the game of the play. It's been a game with a lot of plays, but we're going to show you the posse breakthrough play of the game as part of our post-game show. We'll also have interviews, hopefully with Alan Sitterly, whose Daniel Lions will now go to 24-20-1 in this rivalry. Pickens will drop to 5-1 this year, and then get ready next week as they go on the road, face Wren, and then Daniel
will also be 5-1.
Yep, and will face Belton Honeyapad at home. Another snap. And they'll need to do it one more time, and then that'll be it. Well, we've really enjoyed coming over here to Pickens, and, unfortunately we didn't get to see the Blue Flame lit on the scoreboard, and, the fans didn't get to see it, but we'd like to thank everybody and Coach Korn and all the hospitality that he showed our crew, and we'd just like to say thank you, and we enjoyed coming here and hope to continue to do so.
They may.
Will
they have to take one more snap? How much time we got?
Nope, that's it. They don't have to take another snap. Fourth down. They don't have to take another snap.
No, that's going to do it.
So
fine
Daniel,
football game for Daniel, and not a bad game for Pickens either. They hung tough, shot themselves in the foot a couple of times, but all in all, a game played out just like we thought it would. Eric, slugfest, defensive struggles, possession wars, and that's how it ended up.
Coach Alan Sitterly will go to 5-1 this year, and now leads the series 24-20. Our Pickens player of the game, he changed jerseys on us, didn't he, Matt Tenner, a couple times? But Corey Alexander defensively, our Pickens player of the game. Daniel, our player of the game, is the guys that put the points on the board. 3 field goals by David Harrison. The difference in the ball game, but special recognition to Michael Reed, who played outstanding defensively for the Daniel Lions.
Without a doubt. If we had 3 jerseys, we'd definitely give out 3 jerseys because Michael Reed played himself a whale of a ball game, really controlled that defense and personally turned Pickens away a number of times. But like you said, 9 points on the board, 3 field goals. You got to give it to Mr. Harrison.
Alrighty, we'll be back with our awards. Our final score, Daniel High School on top, 3 field goals. They're the victor on the Burger King High School Game of the Week.
Welcome back, everybody, from Pickens High School. Final score, Daniel 9, Pickens 0. We're going to go down to Tracy Wade, who has our Pickens High School player of the game, and it is Corey Alexander. Tracy, take it away.
That's right. I'm down here with Corey Alexander. Corey, I know you'd hoped things would have been different out here tonight, but you guys fought hard. You did a great job, especially on defense, and you had a tremendous game. How do you feel about tonight's game?
As an overall team, we made a lot of mistakes. We had a lot of penalties that cost us through some interceptions. I believe we played our best. We could have came out on top, but that's just how it goes. We pretty much beat ourselves, and something we got to work on. I think that our defense did really good tonight. They held them and kept our offense going. Offense never really got going until the end, and then it was just too late. And this is just a lot of stuff we got to work on. Just little things. Little things killed us tonight.
Well, for your excellence on the field tonight, we would like to name you the Charter Communications Player of the Game and present you with this jersey. Thanks for talking with us. Good luck next week. Send it back upstairs to you guys.
Great. Thanks, Tracy. And in a moment, we're going to go down to Tim Bachman, who's going to have our Daniel High School Player of the Game. And it's the guy who accounted for all 9 points on the scoreboard. And, Tim, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Matt Tenner. I am here with David Harrison. And, young man, your foot was a major difference in this ball game. I asked him, guys, what size shoe you wore. He said it was a size 12. That's pretty phenomenal there. How did it feel to be the difference maker in a football game that's this emotional?
It was great. I rather some of those field goals be extra points after touchdowns, but I'll take it any time. I love winning games.
All right. Well, the kickers, they do make a difference, and they are football players, no matter what some people in the NFL might say. Let me just say, here's a jersey he's going to get right here. It's the Player of the Game jersey. We're excited to award this to you. Much congratulations to you and on your career in the future. Good luck, young man.
Thank you.
Back to you, Matt.
Great. Thanks, Tim. And again, scored 9-0, and Mr. Harrison accounted for all 9 points. And that's why he's gotten the jersey, Eric.
Well, I tell you what, we like kickers. And we had a kicker last week for T.L. Hanna. So kickers becoming more and more prevalent here in the upstate of South Carolina. Let's go back down to the field.
Thanks, guys. We're now joined by Coach Sitterly. Coach, a traditional hard-fought, emotional, hard-hitting football game. You came out on top. Anything, you can say that made the difference tonight besides your kicker's foot?
Well, I think, defensively, the field position in the ball game was real important. They gave us some great opportunities. We didn't take advantage of them early, but it kept Pickens pinned back, and that was important. And they didn't let them out of that hole, so we were able to keep the pressure on them all night.
It's got to feel good to be 2-0 in the conference.
We're 1-0 in the conference right now. That's the first region game. The other Senate game didn't count. That's a preseason game. But we're 1-0 in the conference. It gets the head up right now. But, we got the BHP next week as the conference favorite. So, we've really been in some tough weeks here with Spartanburg and Pickens, and now BHP coming up.
This coach has been in every kind of battle you can think of, and he's got a lot more to go this season. Coach Sitterly, congratulations on being a part of our Burger King High School Football Game of the Week on the big win and a fine football program at Daniel.
Well, thank you. We appreciate the support you give high school football and the coverage you give us. So, we're glad you're here tonight to cover this thing. I hope our kids get to see it now.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Guys, I made a mistake. I should have known better than that, but Coach straightened me out. He's always keeping us guys straight. Back upstairs to you guys, Matt and Eric. It was an exciting football game, hard-fought game in Pickens, South Carolina tonight.
No doubt about it. Fine job, Tim, on the sidelines tonight. Alan Sitterly, your guys are going to get a chance to watch it because on every Saturday, the day after high school football, we have it on Channel 10, the Burger King High School Game of the Week on TV 10, then Tuesdays at 8 o'clock on Channel 99. Alrighty, our Kapasi breakthrough play of the game, well, he had a bunch of them, and it was one guy, and he was one of the stars. It was Michael Reed with one of his picks. Let's take a look at the Kapasi Glassmark play of the game. That was his first one right there, Matt Tenner.
One of many. Interceptions, fumble recoveries, pass breakups in the end zone. This guy is a phenomenal defensive coverage guy. He's one of those guys, you find him, you don't throw it in his area. He's going to make you pay if you do.
Next week, Nixon Field's going to be rocking and rolling. There's going to be 12,000 plus fans there for Gaffney and Burns as Region 2-4A heats up as they kick it off next week. That's where we'll be. If you don't have a ticket, join us, will you? So for everybody involved, I'm Eric Thacker. For my friend Matt Tenner and for Tracy Wade and, of course, Tim Bachman and everybody else involved, I'm saying so long, where the Daniel Lions defeat their crosstown rival Pickens by a score of 9-0. 3 field goals, the difference in a defensive heated affair. Good night, everyone.
Good night.